What really obvious thing have you only just realized? That big ship's wheel I got to turn as a kid was not actually controlling the cruise ship. When I was a kid, my mom told me my rabbit Rosie went to live on a farm. In my early 20s, I saw an episode of The Sopranos where everyone makes fun of Tony when he realizes his dog didn't really go to live on a farm. That's when I realized Rosie had not gone to a farm either. I recently realized I was allergic to carrots. I just thought they made everyone's mouth numb, just like almonds. I also learned recently that I have an almond allergy. Same here. Thought that raw hazelnuts don't taste good, because they give this weird tingle in your mouth. Found out I had a nut allergy when it suddenly turned from tingle to anaphylaxis, and I ended up in hospital for eating nut chocolate. That the division symbol, divided by, is just a blank fraction with dots replacing the numerator and denominator. When the kids catch their mom kissing Santa Claus, it is because Santa is their dad dressed up, not because Santa and mom have a once-yearly torrid affair. When I was little, we had an Australian shepherd named Sydney. I didn't understand why her name was Sydney until 18 years later. That to take off the plastic piece on top of deodorant, you just simply twist the bottom a few times. No, I must bite. That Michelangelo's David is David from David and Goliath. How did I not know this? I thought it was just dude called Dave. My grandpa used to ask me when I was a kid if I could talk without moving my lips. Being a dumbass kid, I would always give it my best effort, and thought I was pretty good at it. 20 years later, I realized the old bugger was just telling me to shut the fuck up, haha. Too bad I can't let him know I finally figured it out. That they put measurement stickers next to gas station doors so if a robber is running out of the store, you can get a better estimate of their height. I always thought they were just there for something fun to do on road trip stops. More than that, they're not actually accurate if you stand against them and measure that way. They're supposed to be placed so the camera will show the correct height of the person, compensating for the angle of the camera. Not me, but my sister asked me about 2.5 months ago, when we were watching John Wick 3 during the desert scene. She asked me if they were real, and I asked if what were real, and she said sandlands. And I busted out laughing so goddamn hard and said, "You mean deserts?" Yes, they're real. Thinking about it right now got me laughing. That parents have children write letters to Santa so they can figure out what to buy them for Christmas. I can't believe how I never put that together after 32 years on this earth. I just thought it was fun little tradition. The only person who didn't think I had a drinking problem was me. Saw a place lab-led as public house when I moved nearby recently. It was at that moment I realized, that's why they call them pubs. It's short for public house. In Russian phrase, public house means a whorehouse, not a pub. I wonder. Personal injury lawyer commercials play more frequently during daytime TV because their clientele is injured, stuck at home, and watching daytime TV. The reason the cord hook on the vacuum spins is so you can take the whole cord off at once instead of unraveling it one loop at a time, like I have been my whole life. And if you wind it up as a figure 8 between the two hooks, when you turn the hook down and take off the whole cord, it won't get tangled up as you vacuum. My bedroom door was broke and I finally got around to fixing it. Thought the knob was broke cause it was pushed in towards the door, so I pulled it out and realized that was how you locked the door. As a small child, like maybe age 4, my family told me the powder room door at my grandparents' house didn't lock. I had a reputation for accidentally locking myself into places, so they didn't want me locking myself in there, I guess. I was 18 before I accidentally locked the door just like that, realized how it worked and emerged from the bathroom mortified and amused that I had gone all those years thinking the door just didn't lock. No one even remembered lying to me about the lack of lock. My boyfriend did not know that his electric toothbrush has a timer on it that goes off at 1 minute and 2 minutes. He actually returned it and got a new one thinking it was broken, since the timer is just a brief sort of pause reduction in the vibration. He would be like, "What a fact, I literally just charged this fucking thing," thinking that the battery was already dying. One day, and I can't remember exactly what the conversation was, I brought up how I liked that my toothbrush let me know when I had brushed long enough, and it was like a light bulb went off in his head and suddenly he put it together that that was what his toothbrush was doing all along. I kept seeing the same Chinese characters on restaurant signs and I always wanted to know what it meant. A week ago I found out, they mean restaurant. That alcohol doesn't freeze in a regular freezer. ETA. I was referring to drinks with high alcohol content, not beer and wine. I knew this, but my dumbass still tried to make frozen alcohol pops. This is so stupid, but I didn't realize my moms were gay until I was almost 14 and I literally heard my mom say, "I'm gay," to my grandma as a joke. I knew that lesbian same-sex gay were relatively interchangeable, but it didn't click as, "My moms are lesbians," which is another term for being gay, and they are gay. Until that moment. I also have a gay mom, but I didn't know the word lesbian till 6th grade. I got into a massive fight with my best friend because she called my mom a lesbian and I didn't know what that was, so I thought it was an insult. Nope, turns out if your mom has a girlfriend she's probably a lesbian. I'm 25 next week and I still think about it. Story time. When I was little, for some reason I hated toast. Just hated it. My parents always tried to make me eat it, but I always refused. My grandma decided to try something different. She took toast, cut it up into tiny squares, put some butter on them and called them little pillows. I ate them all the time. Only now, at 22 years old, did I realize it was just freaking toast. My friend, 22Y.O, only realized last year that dolphins have to swim and live in the water to survive. He thought they're land mammals, but they just really like to swim for fun. Okay, this was a couple of years ago, but it was something I realized way too late in my life. You're supposed to use the towel to dry yourself after a shower. I was just wrapping it around myself and sitting walking around in it until I air dried. Last time I remember this question asked, there was a guy that didn't realize you could wait until the water got hot to get in the shower. He hated how it always starts so cold. I'm 16 and didn't realize until a month ago you don't have to turn sinks up all the way. Water always splashed me when I washed my hands, and I complained to a friend and she said, "Just turn the handle halfway then." My life has gone uphill from there, ladies and gentlemen, let me tell you. English is not my first language, so I was mind blown when I realized how keys, kiss, he's, his, this, these, etc. differed in sound, pronunciation. I first noticed this when I told my boyfriend I wanted a keys, and he looked very confused, lol. Now I try my best to pronounce them properly. The song, "It's Getting Hot in Here," isn't actually talking about here temperature. I felt very, very stupid. That a skirt and a dress are two different things. I'm 42. That calling someone simple is just a nice way of calling someone stupid. Wife informed me of this, after 28 years of my grandma calling me simple. That when I was a kid and my dad would take me to the video store on Friday nights and he would go into the back room where only adults were allowed, that he was looking at Norp. I must have been around 11 to 12 years old when I realized that, in order of appearance, during the end credits of a movie doesn't list the actors/actresses by who is the most good-looking. I regret to inform you all that it just occurred to me the other day that the game is called Sims because they're in a simulation. I'm 26. I realized when I was 16 reindeer were real. I 100% thought they were fake like elves and Santa Claus. I'm 23 years old and less than 3 months ago I found out mayonnaise is made from eggs. Thought it was dairy. That the Volkswagen logo is a V over a W. I always just assumed it was random lines that made cool shapes. This is pretty sad considering I drive one. The moon doesn't produce light. It just reflects the sun. The Firefox logo is a fox, made of fire. I recently learned that Alaska is not an island. That the sound you make when snapping your fingers is not from the thumb and finger but from the finger hitting your palm. Also that by me typing that out, you just tried snapping your fingers. Try snapping your fingers without putting your pinky and ring finger down, nothing. I think it's air going down the funnel created by putting them down. What really obvious thing have you only just realized? Leave a comment and subscribe to the channel if you want to see more videos like this one.